Hey everyone, welcome. So, I was last night I was going through people's community posts and one popped out a response to someone, and he's a total idiot. And it got me thinking about some of these other idiots in this community. Amy, who likes to file her dumb injunctions of harassment claims. Then we got these other idiots that abuse the legal system. We all know who the one is who got a frivolous RO. And then we had AJ back in the day who filed for an RO without any admissible evidence to back up her claims. Then we had a few others. They're not very, they're practically nobodies right now. So let's just put it this way. They may have got away with it for now, but they'll all catch up to them. All right. So we got a lunatic on the loose that screams while he takes a walk. And he's a total idiot. All right. He thinks he knows it all. He thinks he knows everything practically. He tells you how it is, but he gets everything wrong. And I'll admit, I don't know everything. Sometimes I'm wrong. And I'll admit, my community, and a response to a community post, I was partly wrong on something. But we got someone running around threatening to take people to federal copyright court. And he thinks, oh, that'll teach him. I'll just file papers and serve them. Thinking he knows where someone lives, and that's not their actual address. And then he claims, oh, I got this PI now. I'll run the license plate. I'll have him run the license plates in the driveway. Oops. Jamie forgot to notify the DMV of change of address. And Eli, I'm just going to say this to you. All right. You have no damn right, absolute right to his address. All right. Absolutely zero right. For what purpose? Harassment purposes. So you can send ODN over there. Not going to happen. And you're too dumb to even figure out an alternate way to serve somebody. I'm not going to give you any ideas. You're just going to have to figure that out on your own. But so the other day, hey, Kit. Yeah, but guess what, Kit? That isn't Sarah. I'm going to tell you why. Sarah lives on the West Coast. and she's not going to drive cross country to serve somebody, all right? Number two, she's no longer over there. And Cuckboy, Mr. Eli, was talking shit about her. Screaming, yelling. So, it's not Sarah, all right? Sorry to disappoint everyone. But Sarah's not involved in this. Sarah's not involved. So he keeps threatening to strike people. He actually struck Susie down successfully, by the way. And, well, me and Jamie were smart. Once he says, I'm going to make a phone call, we knew what that meant. Stopped his stream. We knew he was putting in a copyright takedown notice. So, yeah, true, Sarah, you know? I'm sure. Yeah, he lies, Kit. He absolutely lies about everything. So, it isn't, we don't exactly take anything he says with seriously. Everything goes in our ears and out because guess what? He doesn't know how to tell the truth. All right? So, he sits there, he tries to strike me down. What I just do is when he tries that, I just turn off the YouTube side, delete it, and I just go over to Rumble where he can't touch me. Jamie that night just shut off his stream, deleted it. And Susie was restreaming him too, so we went over to Susie's. And it didn't last more than 5-10 minutes. Being over there, she got struck down. So I decided to, okay, I'll fire up a live. And sweet old GLM decides to snitch me out for restreaming him. Aw, poor GLM. She has to be a snitch. But guess what? I don't really give a shit. He decides, oh, I gotta make a phone. I'll be right back. And decides to put in a copyright strike on me. So I just said, we're going over to Rumble. We're going over to Rumble, you know? And he thought I stopped. He thought I stopped restreaming him, the idiot. He thought I was restreaming him. And I got like almost 30 people in my box over at Rumble. So that chance of doing that. So the topic on the community post actually was slap laws. Okay? SLAPP. It reminds me of slapping someone in the face. You know, like you got slapped with something. So, many states have these slap laws on the books. So, when I commented on the community post, I was going based on Eli's threats. Oh, I'm going to take you to federal copyright court. I'm going to take you to small claims court. Knowing that people that get a notice from federal copyright court. They can opt out of it. So then Eli is going to spend money he don't have to take him to court. And they say, oh, I'm going to take you to federal court. Blah, 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 blah. And then when he was on his walk the other day, he says, oh, I'm going to strike you all and take you all to court. And that will show you. Really? Coming from him? He can't even get who silicone is correctly. He has to listen to trolls and what they say. And they never get anything right, by the way. They never, ever get anything right. Ever. So, we're going to examine these SLAPP laws. Oh, Kit, I'm so glad you said that. Because guess what? Eli going into court, federal court, is foolish. From what I'm seeing. All right? So what I was saying today and yesterday was states have these SLAPP laws on the books. So SLAPP means that your free speech is basically compromised. You're getting sued because you open up your mouth and you give commentary and those suits that abuse the state legal system are like basically thrown out. All right. We all know Street Rat got her RICO suit thrown out because the judge ruled that it was a SLAPP claim, which I kind of disagree with the ruling on that, but because I don't think threats and intimidation, in my opinion, actually is considered free speech. Just saying. Harassment under the law is not free speech. The courts have upheld this for how many years now? So these over 30 states have SLAPP laws in the books. All right. So the federal system and the state and all 50 states are considered separate under the Constitution. I learned this in school. So we have the double jeopardy clause in our Constitution, the federal Constitution, which prohibits double jeopardy. So in the Constitution, the state government can file charges against you, and the federal government can file charges against you, and it wouldn't be double jeopardy. All right. The courts have upheld this for 200 years. And there are some cases, all right, in which the federal courts have ruled, okay, this case does not violate the federal Constitution, but in some states, but state prosecutions are considered separate due to states' rights. Let me give you an example, all right? So, there was a ruling by the Supreme Court where the justices ruled that if a lawyer comes to the police station and says they're there to assist, the police don't have to tell the one being interrogated, a lawyer's here. All right. But the states took that ruling, looked at the state constitution, and said, okay, wait a minute. People under the state constitution have additional rights than the federal constitution provides. So, in some states, that ruling by the Supreme Court doesn't apply to state prosecutions. So, what's happening is a slippery slope. It's a gray area. So, the federal government doesn't have SLAPP. All right. It doesn't have SLAPP legislation. But here's what I don't know. All right. I don't know if the federal courts can consider state legislation in federal proceedings. I'm hearing from Tammy it can be. I'm no lawyer. All right. You have to get advice from a legal representative, a licensed attorney from the bar for that. I'm reading conflicting information online about that. So after Tammy made her comment, I actually looked and I read one set of articles and then I'm reading another set from the Google AI. So it's up in the air, all right? So Tammy could be right on what she said to me, all right? So, but there's something close in the federal system. If Eli decided, oh, I'm going to file in federal court. Okay? Blah, blah, blah. So, okay. So, we all know that Eli doesn't have a case. Eli, you don't have a case. What we're doing is called, it's two words. It's called fair use. We're giving commentary. We're being critical. We're using it as parody. Education. Okay? So, we're actually transforming it. We're giving our opinions, which is protected under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. It's called freedom of speech. And just because, Eli, you don't agree with our opinions and you think that the First Amendment only applies to you, you'll actually be laughed out of court. All right? So, you don't have a case. But there's a little surprise in store for you, Eli, if you want to go down this route. Hey, Witchy. Did everything go through all right on the Rumble side? Yeah, I have the right. I have the right. Tammy has the right. Jamie has the right. Or anybody else has the right to respond to his bullshit. Especially when he mentions us time and time again. So, we have the right to defend ourselves against this idiot that decides to walk the streets of Redwood City, California. All right? Yeah, of course. Of course, Witchy. He's just trying to blame everything on Sarah, and that's not fair. All right? That's not fair at all. And Sarah was there for a reason. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say anything more. If Sarah wants to say anything, that's I'm gonna give her the chance to say it herself. So hey Bill Black. So in the federal system and the states have some of these same laws, all right, on the books. So this is similar to SLAPP, okay? SLAPP. So if you look on Google, there's these special protections under state law that if the judge determines this is a SLAPP lawsuit, it gets dismissed. All right. But the federal system has something called, let me just read this. All right. The False Claims Act, the FCA. So this act allows private citizens to file lawsuits on behalf of the government against individuals or entities that have defrauded the government. The FCA provides that anyone who knowingly submits false claims to the government is liable for significant penalties, according to the Department of Justice. So that's one. That's one act passed by Congress. All right. So there's Federal Rule 11, which actually coincides with the False Claims Act, by the way. So this rule requires attorneys to sign all pleadings, motions, and other papers in a case that certified to the best of their knowledge the document is not being presented for an improper purpose. The claims and defenses are not frivolous. Did you hear that word? Frivolous. And any factual contentions have evidentiary support or will after discovery. Violations of Rule 11 can lead to sanctions, including monetary penalties. And this is according to the San Diego County Bar Association. So, Federal Rule 11 means that attorneys cannot defraud the court. They have to have a good faith basis for filing a case in court. And Federal Rule 11 applies probably to people not represented by counsel. So if you violate Federal Rule 11, you're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, you're probably right, Witchy Nicole. You're probably 100% right. But you know how Eli is, Witchy. He has to blame everyone but himself. It's so if Eli goes into court and misrepresents the facts to the judge, if he goes to federal court, he violated Rule 11 of the federal court rules. So he'll get in trouble. He'll get sanctioned, fined, or even put in jail for contempt of court. Aw, poor Cucky. So let's keep reading, shall we? Let me just put this on the screen so everyone can see what I'm reading. So I thought this was called the Frivolous Lawsuit Act, but that doesn't exist. This is the AI overview. All right. This is the AI. Of course. You're 100% right, Witchy Nicole. Anti-SLAPP laws are designed to protect individuals from strategic lawsuits against public participation, which are lawsuits filed to intimidate or silence critics. 100% right. So, we have Federal Rule 11 if he wanted to take this to federal court. So, he's in trouble if he violates Federal Rule 11. And then there's the False Claims Act. So, if he wants to go in and defraud the court, he violates the False Claims Act. Okay? So, other mechanisms available in the federal court system: sanctions under 28 USC 1927. This section authorizes sanctions for fictitious litigation where conduct is unreasonable and fictitious. So you can get sanctioned under this section for fictitious litigation. Oh. Motion to dismiss or strike. Courts may dismiss or strike frivolous claims or defenses. So, if a federal judge, deems your motion or your case before the court as frivolous, it can be dismissed with prejudice. Now, the other mechanism is state law. Many states have laws and rules that address frivolous lawsuits, including those related to certificates of merit, damages from malicious prosecution, and anti-SLAPP protections. So, as I said before, Congress did not pass SLAPP laws, anti-SLAPP laws. So, there are other mechanisms in place, some protections, not specific protections under many states' laws. So let me put up the other window, all right, that I have up. Oh, of course, Kit. See, Witchy Nicole does her research correctly. I do my research. Or at least I try to. If I don't know something, as I said before, I try researching it on the internet. I'm not claiming to know everything. There's a lot of things I don't know in life. We're constantly learning new things, all right? Oh, yeah, that's a good one, Witchy. Eli is going to become the boy who cried lawsuit. Yeah. You want to know what, Witchy? I stand by my opinion where Eli is just doing this because he's been a failure for so long and he wants to be a success. But even if I'm not saying this isn't going to happen, But he thinks if he can silence his critics, that he'll be a success on here. Not going to happen because guess what? He alienates everyone. He bans everyone from his chat. He's a dirty little communist, in my opinion. He says, oh, agree with me. My opinion's the only thing that matters. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The courts are going to get tired of him. They're going to laugh him out of court. And he's going to look at what happened with Tammy. The judge laughed him out of court. Damn. Which, Nicole, let me get this straight. So, was it Eli that tried to get a restraining order on Tammy? Was it the other way around? I'm just asking because I didn't keep up with that. Oh, yeah. People who go pro se are subject to Rule 11. They're subject to the rules, just like everyone else. So let's go to this here, okay? A frivolous lawsuit, also known as a meritless lawsuit, is a legal claim with title or no basis in law or fact. It's typically filed to harass, delay, or embarrass the opposing party, rather than seek just a resolution. Such lawsuits can lead to sanctions against the filing party or their attorney as they waste court time and resources. So that's the legal definition of a frivolous lawsuit, according to the law. So, the key characteristics of a frivolous lawsuit. Okay, so this is on the Google AI. There's probably more to it. We're not licensed attorneys, so a licensed attorney would know more about this than we would. So, no legal or factual basis. The claim lacks a reasonable argument for its validity, whether in law or fact. So what they're saying on this is the claim doesn't lack a reasonable argument before the court. Within the law or being factual, all right? So, number 2, intent to harass or delay. The lawsuit is filed primarily to cause annoyance or obstruct the legal process. Ding, ding. I guess Eli is guilty of this. I guess this is his intent to harass or delay. So, Eli, if you're intending to go through with this, your lawsuit would be laughed out of court, dismissed, and you could be held in contempt of court. So if your lawsuit is filed primarily to cause annoyance or obstruct the legal process, you're in trouble. All right? So, absurd legal theories. Here we go. Absurd. So, does anyone in chat believe his arguments are absurd on his walks? I do. So the claim might not rely on outlandish. The claim might rely on outlandish legal concepts or theories that are not widely accepted. So he's using legal theories such as, oh, you can't commentate on my content. You're violating my copyright. Isn't that an absurd legal theory which doesn't take into account fair use? Wouldn't that be? I'm not addressing it, Witchy. Take care of it. It's just troll. Okay, duplication or repetition. Filing numerous lawsuits or motions on the same issue can be seen as frivolous. So this means if you file numerous lawsuits or motions on the same issue, Eli, you're threatening to file numerous lawsuits or motions on the same issue in court. This could be seen by the court as duplication or repetition. Look at this. It's in black and white. I'm reading off. So, next one. Harassment or intimidation. The lawsuit may be used to intimidate or bully the opposing party. So what do you do, Eli, on your walks, your live, walking down the street? You harass and try to intimidate people. So you're using the legal system to intimidate or bully someone that doesn't agree with you. Oh my. We have plenty of evidence of that, don't we? So if you file a lawsuit in small claims court, in federal court, or any other court for that matter, the opposing party can show evidence of harassment or intimidation, absurd legal theories, intent to harass or delay, perhaps no legal or factual basis to the judge. And guess what? It will be dismissed and declared frivolous. Consequences of filing a frivolous lawsuit. Sanctions. Did you hear that? Sanctions. I read it, what you call. I'll deal with it later. So, sanctions. Court may impose penalties, including attorney's fees, fines, and even contempt of court on the party who filed the frivolous claim. Damage to reputation. Filing a frivolous lawsuit can damage the reputation of the individual or entity involved. Waste of court resources. Frivolous lawsuits consume valuable court time and resources, potentially delaying legitimate cases. So, a frivolous lawsuit actually takes away from time from a legitimate matter before the court, where two parties have a disagreement, and a judge has to step in and be mediator. So there is actually some recourse here. All right. This is both the federal system and the state system. Uh, uh, um, Lawsuit can be dismissed for being frivolous. So So, in essence, there isn't a single federal law explicitly named the Frivolous Lawsuit Act. Various rules and laws, such as Rule 11, the FCA, and other legal principles, are used to address and deter frivolous lawsuits in the federal court system. So, this applies to the state laws too. So there's one person in the true crime community that's known for filing frivolous lawsuits. So, do you know what happened to him? He's forbidden from filing a lawsuit ever again or a motion before the court. He's practically banned. So, here is some of the legal recourses that can be taken if Eli decides to take these matters to court. So, and of course, Eli doesn't have a case because in order to get proper legal advice, he has to tell the truth. And the truth and Eli are practically strangers. So, yep, 100%, Kit. Fictitious litigant or fictitious, or I don't know if I'm saying that right, but so I think Eli is going to try this and fall down face first in the dirt as he usually does. But there are consequences for people like Amy. If Robbie wanted to pursue what AJ did to him, she could have done that under frivolous lawsuits and frivolous actions. He could have been very, very nasty to AJ, all right, for what she did, going real life on him, filing RO when she had no evidence to back it up. Just her word on it. So I'm just showing that the law applies to everyone, if you agree with it or not. And Amy's so-called injunctions of harassment and police calling, I'm sorry, but the police probably just hang up on her. All right. Yeah, we just don't assume everything. I just go by what I know based on the law. And if I don't know everything, all right? Sometimes I learn something. And if these SLAPP laws can be used, the state laws can be used in federal court, I haven't read any case law to case law from the 11th Circuit or any other circuit, the Federal Appeals Court. But I do know that if you appeal to a federal court from a state case, they can consider state law in your appeal. So that's what I do know. Yeah, of course, what Nicole, because if you assume everything, you make an ass out of yourself. You make a total ass out of yourself. So we have a bunch of these people around in this community, It's just not Eli. It's a bunch of them. All right. We got these cop callers. We got these people that want to sue or threaten to sue when they don't even have a case to begin with. Yeah, which and he failed to get an RO on Tammy. You suck at this, Eli. You really suck. Okay? And I'll say this again until you get it through your thick skull. Okay? You had Tammy stick a barbed wire stick up your ass. All right? Up your damn ass. You seem to like it because you paid 4 easy installments of $250. And then you went over and then you ran over to Tammy wanting to do content with her when she wanted nothing to do with you. And not only that, you seem to you wanted more since she rejected your skanky little ass. Plus, in addition, you're not going to be a success on here. Too many people hate you, Eli. And even you even had to do a poll. Who's the biggest cuck? And you won by a landslide. Damn. You stupid imbecile. So, keep it up, Eli. You'll probably be in jail for contempt or fined. But apparently you said you have no problem financially, which I believe is a lie. Once a loser, always a loser, cucky. Hey, Wendy. You'll always be a loser, Eli. Always be one. So we're going to move on. All right. We're going to move on from this. Okay. So the two inmates from New Orleans, the last two, are still on the run. They haven't caught them. And you have the one, Anton Massey, who is now sitting there taunting the police. So he's on social media trying to make his case that he's innocent. Like the idiot that he is. And guess what happened to him? Though he wasn't caught, he didn't realize there was a $50,000 reward out for his capture. So he had family members that were watching him on cam and recognized the background, and they called him in. They called it in to turn his ass in. They wanted that 50,000. You know, it's just amazing. I would think if you escaped from a parish prison or parish jail, that you would want to keep a low profile. You would at least want to stay keeping. You would at least want to keep being free. Of course, they're going to eventually find him. Well, at least the other one that's still out is keeping a low profile. They're not finding him. So that Anton Massey, he actually fled where he was staying, and it take a couple weeks until they find him. Who knows? But so there was a 2-week manhunt for the guy in Arkansas that escaped state prison. Grant Hardin. He was picked up the other day, and he was found 1.5 miles from the prison where he escaped. And I'm like, 1.5 miles in over 2 weeks. And the dogs couldn't pick up on his scent. Something seems fishy to me. I would think that they would have a few square miles at least searched. I thought when they have escaped inmates, they search close to the prison and then they work their way out. So that's another inconsistency in this whole thing with the Arkansas escape. So it seems to be contagious. People are getting out of these correctional facilities. So I'm seeing in my feed that they're rioting in LA again. And it's like deja vu all over again. Huh. So this apparently started I'm shaking my head. So these protesters think that if they get a little violent, they're going to stop ICE activity in California. If they get violent on federal officials, they're going to stop picking up criminals for deportation. And I have just one question for everyone to consider. When people get violent, does anything ever get done? Yeah, Sarah. just take a look around. I'm not sure if it's just troll that came in and just made a false accusation. So I just ignored it for the most part. Oh, of course, Wendy. Of course. And they're setting fires to government property, and they're beating people up again. And it's just over what? Do they think they're going to promote change this way? All they're going to do is get themselves arrested and get in the back of the paddy wagon off to jail. Nothing's going to change just because they decide to set some fires and get violent. It's like, what are these people thinking? These woke idiots in Los Angeles. Nothing ever changes with violence. The system doesn't change. Please do, Witchy. Please do, because I don't know if that was a prank. I just got rid of the person. I thought it was someone in here to disrupt the chat. Oh yeah, Wendy. Oh yeah, Wendy. I've seen those ads before. I even seen an ad on Craigslist. Someone took a screenshot one time, and they said they were looking for people they were hiring people to attend the Democratic National Convention. And then there was another ad. And then there was another ad for people to attend Sheriff Opaya, his pardoning ceremony or whatever you want to call it. People to cheer. They're wanting people of color. They're preferring people of color. So I seen that ad. I don't know if they were real or they were total fakes, but that's what I saw with my own eyes. So this is day 2 of them getting violent. All the National Guard or the police are doing is just placing them under arrest, putting them in the van, and taking them off to jail. That's all that happens when they riot. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're throwing rocks at officers like they did in Baltimore. That was utterly disgusting. What do they think was going to happen in Baltimore? Nothing happened. Nothing changed. So if you actually want change, go out and hold up a sign at City Hall or something. Get a bunch of people together. Don't actually setting fires, throwing rocks at cops, vandalism. It doesn't do anything. Because all they're going to do is have a reason to throw you in jail. And we have a media that wants sensational TV, and they go down there and cover it. Which, in my opinion, they shouldn't be giving it too much attention. They should just report it at the news desk and just move on, because they're just giving these idiots attention. But in the past, they said rioting is the language of the unheard. But in the past, nothing changed when people riot. They're just put in the back of the police cruisers and they're off to jail. Nothing changes. They just increase security presence. Oh dear. Oh yeah, they even set wildfires. They even set wildfires, Wendy. It's like there's something wrong with these people. You know, it's yeah, I just can't watch the live feed on YouTube because it's just going to get me angry. You know, it's I don't know, Wendy. I have no clue. Schwarzenegger wasn't too bad. He was bad, but he was better than some of these other governors. Well, he liked to grope people, but that was bad too. I didn't agree with Schwarzenegger all the time. Actually, I don't agree with any of them. To be honest with you, I don't agree with Trump 100% of the time either. I seem to be like in the middle somewhere when it comes politically. So I seem to be. I don't know, Wendy. They think they're gonna make a difference in stopping ICE from doing their job. That's what I think. Who knows? Some of these people are crazy, Wendy. They think getting violent will stop ICE from doing their jobs, immigration, and customs, border patrol, whatever you want to call them. They're all under Homeland Security now. Yeah, the current governor is an idiot. What you call Newscum, Gavin Newscum. Yeah, they have this cashless bail system in California where many crimes is catch and release. So he's probably out. Wendy lighting a palm tree on fire. Yeah, he's probably out on a zero bond amount. He probably got a desk appearance ticket. I think the only time you get a bail is if it's a certain class felony or something. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. Yeah, New York has the same system, but oh dear. You see, this is why we need ICE, Wendy. This is why we need ICE. Because even Democrats don't want gang members that weren't born here out of the country. At least the majority of them do. It's something that most people can agree on, in Congress at least. but it's this Trump derangement syndrome that we're dealing with. So we got these riots, mini riots in LA, where they think they're going to make a difference. Idiots. So I just wanted to touch on that one issue. Frivolous lawsuits, slap actions. So yeah, because we got a little cock and got some others in this community that like to abuse the court system, and I'm frankly sick of it. So I just wanted to get some facts out there that I know are true. Here's the thing I don't know. All right, I don't know if they're I don't know if certain courts are allowed to consider state law in federal litigation. That's a gray area. But other than that, the cock is screwed. Eli, you're screwed. So, GLM, I know you're probably going to watch. Go report that to your master. I even put the screen up for you to read. So, if you want your master to go to jail, possibility of going to jail, heavily fined, keep it up. All right, keep it up. Because people around here are not going to take this line down. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to hit the road. I hope to see some of you later. So, hit the thumbs up on the way out and